Welcome, everybody, to another live laser distractions. You'll notice pretty obvious that I'm not out in the shop, and there's a good reason for that. As I was last few days, been trying to figure out what I was going to do for the laser distractions live stream, and just last night I thought, well, let's do something a little different. So I went out. I took some of these. You can't even see that, I don't think. Yeah. This is now this was done on a diode laser quite a while ago, actually. But I thought, well, I've been wanting to try some of these ceramic tiles um, with the CO2 laser. So I have a whole case of them up under that workbench back there. Grabbed about 7 or 8 of them and took them out there and put the white paint on them, and thought, well, that's what we'll do tonight. We'll play around with that. But then I got up this morning, and first thing, before I even got a good sip of my coffee, I saw a video from the Louisiana hobby guy, and he had done just a quick video about a new feature on the latest version of Lightburn. And the title caught my attention because I thought, wait a minute, that sounds like something I use or would use. So I watched his video, and sure enough, it's something that I could have used here just within the past few days, because I have been doing, let me see if I can pull these pictures up here. I have been working on some. I went to Tractor Supply the other day, and I got Jack some dog food, and they had moved it to a different spot. So as I had to walk through to find his dog food, I saw this wild bird seed, and I thought, yeah, I need to get a bag of that and, put some stuff out for the birds around here. And so anyway, so then I came home and I thought, well, I don't have anything to put it in. So I started looking for these bird feeders. So I got this bird feeder and this bird feeder, and oops, not that. That's not a bird feeder. This bird feeder off of that website that Sean told me about the other day, that amid.com. And that website has some pretty cool stuff, except one of the things you have to worry about is the thickness. If it's not made, if it's not programmed or designed into thickness, you got to be able to switch that out. And of course, I had done it for all 3 of these, but did it the way I know how, by kind of manually doing each piece and all that. And this new thing that's coming out in Lightburn, let me get it over here. It's this little piece right here. If you come down here, and it says resize slots in selection. So I'm going to be talking about that tonight, and showing a few samples, showing some things, because I've been playing around with this pretty much all day, running some boxes. I got some little visual aids here to show you, and we'll talk about that. Let me first welcome some more people here. Looks like Solar Man's in the house. JR's here. How you doing, JR? Rand says, oh, I dig that feeder. I don't know which one you were talking about, but there's Alan from wet. It's wet here too, and it's about to get a lot wetter. I just checked the radar, and all that junk is going to hit here. And of course, I hate when the rough stuff gets here when you're asleep, because I know there's been some tornadoes. I heard there was a tornado down there in New Orleans, so hopefully it'll be calmed down by the time it goes through here. But But anyway, Mike's here as well. How you doing, Mike? But anyway, I wanted to show a few things about this feature in Lightburn, and this was just I had when watched that video for Louisiana Hobby Guy, and he was talking about version third. Let's see, what is it? 1.3.01, and I thought, well, I just got 1.300 just a couple of days ago. So I guess there might have been a bug or something in it, and they decided to fix it or something. I don't know. But anyway, they have another release. So after I watched that video, I came in here, updated it, and got the latest, greatest, and then started playing around with that feature. And tonight, I want to show you what all I have discovered. I think for the most part, it's going to be pretty cool, but there are a few gotchas and that's what I'm going to be showing you tonight. Some things you have to um, watch out for as you're using that little feature of Lightburn. And it may be they'll fix it later on. I don't know, but anyway, what I wanted to do is I wanted to test. The whole purpose of that little feature, that resize slots and selection, is in case you either buy a file or somebody gives you a file, and let's say their file's made out of 3mm material, and you're going to run it out of quarter or 6mm or 5mm or something like that. How can you easily adapt it so that the notches all still fit? So what I did to test all this is I went to one of my favorite websites, that boxes.py or boxes.py. I'm not sure how you say it, but anyway, the first thing I did is I made a little box, and I used, let's see, that light keeps messing with this. It says inside dims, or for inside dimensions. So I used the inside dimensions. I think I've got it right here. Okay, I can show you this again. This is the settings I use. And of course, this is in metric, but you can see I've got the outside box is left unchecked. So all this is for inside dimensions. And then I use the bottom edge where I put a parallel finger joint holes so that I could test not just finger joints, but also, slots and tabs. So I use this to set this up, and what I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. So I made this, did this little box, and I'm going to pull this in Lightburn here and kind of go through the motions again. And because my goal was to see if I could take this, because that boxes.py, I know that this box, as long as and actually, if you look at the thickness, it's 3.683 millimeters, which I don't have 3mm material. I have the 5/32, which is what this is. They call it 5/32, but it mics at about 0.142 or 145. I think it's 145.145 decimal in metric is 3.683. So my goal was to create this little box using that program, bring it into Lightburn, make a copy of these files, and then try to edit them to make one out of the thicker material, which, and again, they call it quarter, but it measures right about 0.2 or 0.196. I just use 5mm, which is 0.196. So that's what I'm changing it to. So let me get Lightburn fired up over here. Okay. And I will bring in, and we'll try and go through some of the motions here. And I got the chat right here in front of me, so I'll try to keep an eye on if anybody's got any questions or anything. This computer works much better, so that's another reason for me to be in here to do this, since it's going to be about Lightburn. I figured I can do it much easier from in here. Now let me see where I put. Okay, so I want to grab this is the file, the SVG file that was created by that boxes.py. Okay, so and what you want to do, let's see, let me move this over here so you are able to see it. But if I check, you can see that this came up with a tab of 3.58 millimeter. If you look right up here, you'll see it. So 3.58 millimeter over here. Yeah, it's 3.58 there. These little slots are 3.48. Okay. And you need to know what those are in order to change them. So what I'm going to do, so I don't, oops. Oh, that's because I got this on. All right. So let me just make a copy of this, and we'll leave that one as is. Okay. Now, what I want to do is we'll start with these slots down here. If I want to change those for the bigger material, I know that what I want it to be is 5 millimeter. And again, if we check this, we see that they're saying 3.48 is what it is now. So what I would do is highlight all of these slots. Whoops. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to, yeah, I think I got to ungroup all this stuff because it comes in grouped, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I'll highlight the first batch. Then I'm going to hold the shift key down, and I'll grab the other 4 sets. Okay, now I've got all 4 sets of those highlighted. So now I'm going to come over here to this tools, and I'm going to come down here to that new feature that I was talking about, resize slots in selection. And we said that the old material, when I measured that, it was, what did I say what it was? 3.58, I think. And I want it to be 5 is what I want the new material thickness to be. Okay, now if I put slot width, and it, okay, so you see as I move around, see here it's not doing nothing, here it's not doing nothing. This is what it's looking for. It says the tab height, and you see as I scroll in here, it's going to go this way on all of these. You see that, how it's going to move them all? So I can click OK, and you notice how they got bigger. And now if I measure them, let me get this thing. See, now if I put them on there, just check a few randomly here, they're all saying 5 millimeters. So you see how easy that was. That was pretty cool that you can just boom, just like that, change all these slots. And now that will work with a piece of 5 millimeter material. Okay, now let's take a look at the other things that need to change. Let's grab this, and I'm going to come down here to that same thing, resize slots in selection. And you can see it's already showing something, because when you think about it, this is thicker. So these tabs either need to be longer or this needs to be deeper. And apparently the way this works, it's deciding to make that deeper. So I've got my 3.58 right there. And my 5mm is what I want it to be. So I click OK. And just like that, it changes them. So now if I measure some of these randomly here, you can see that's 5mm. So everything's hunky-dory, right? Well, there's one little problem. If you look right here at the corner, that didn't move that back or move that back. And it does that on all four corners. So at least for boxes, you have to be aware of that. Yeah, it still made it really easy to do that. And I was able to, I'm not that good at it in Lightburn, but actually what I would do is take this back into VCar Pro where I know how to do it really fast. And I would change this. And basically I'm bringing this line down to where it's even with this one and then coming over this one and then getting rid of that. And the same thing here, bringing this over. So I'm bringing this whole corner back because this should be the same as this, but it doesn't. Now, is that a bug in this thing? I don't know, but I'm just pointing this out because if you're going to use that feature with these boxes, that's something you're going to have to watch out for. Okay, so we know that all this bottom is okay except for the four corners. Those will have to be fixed manually. Now, let's take a look at these here. I'm going to hold down shift. Let me make sure what that was. Yeah, it's still 3.58. Okay. So I'm going to now hold down shift to select all of these, and notice that the slots are not in this selection because they're ungrouped. Okay, so now I've got all four of those. I'm going to come back to that tool, resize the slots. And again, you can see that it's going to pull this in. But I want you to notice something. Notice on these two pieces, it's fine because there's 3 slots and it's going to pull them in on both sides. It's going to be fine. But these two pieces are just like this piece up here where it's not bringing this in or this or this or this. So when I click OK, everything got big except right there again. So that's going to have to be done some other way too. So that's just a couple of things that I wanted to point out with this feature because at first thought, I'm thinking, man, this is going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. But then when I started playing around with it, I thought, well, it does a lot of it pretty quick, but it doesn't do it all. At least I haven't figured out how to do it, and I don't know any other way but to select it. And if you look, this right here is 358, just like everything else. So that's what was put in that thing, but it doesn't know to do it at the corners for some reason. So I don't know. Maybe that's a bug. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something they'll fix in the future. And maybe this thing isn't really designed to work with boxes. I'm just trying it out with boxes. And then I did it with the slots as well. So anyway, I did do this box. And like I said, I used the inside dimensions. And this is the thinner material. And then after I adjusted the parts that I needed to, the corners, I got a perfect box. So that, as far as changing the slots and changing the piece over here where it's got the 3 slots, it worked fantastic. So it wasn't any issue, and I got a good little box out of that. Okay, so then I got to sitting around thinking, well, maybe, just maybe, it's got something to do with, because I used inside dimensions. I wouldn't think that would make any difference, but we'll try it again. I'll do the same kind of thing and use the outside dimensions. So again, let me just go a new one here. I'm not going to bother saving that because I've already run all this stuff. Okay, Sean says this could be great for using two different thicknesses. Yeah. And again, like I said, I think it will do most other things, but just hang on to your seat because I got some other stuff to show you a little farther along. That's a whole nother cluster of problems. So, all right. So then I went back to that boxes.py and I thought, well, let's try it using the outside dimension. So here's the SVG brought in. Let me move this one over. We'll duplicate it. And then we'll see if we can tweak on this one. So again, this is for the thinner material. Right now, let's check it, see where we're at. 3.58. 3.58. Those are 3.48 for the slots. Okay, so it's 348 for the slots, 358 for the box joint slots. Okay, so let me go to here. Let's see, I'm probably going to have to ungroup all this stuff again. Okay, so now we'll go through the same motions here. Hold down Shift key and select all of these slots. Okay, let's see if I got them all. Yep. Now we'll come back up to this tools, resize slots and selection. And if I go through here, you'll notice, okay, I guess that even without 358, okay, I see. It's saying 3.48 is what it was, and then I want to go to 5. So if I come check this, looking up there in the corner, there's 5 millimeters. So again, it did that just like the other one did, using the inside dimensions. Now let's try this one here. Let's see if it works on this one and gets all the corners. So we're going to come here. This was 3.58. And I want to go to 5. And again, you see that it's going to get everything except those corners right there, those two lines on those corners, on each corner. So again, that one's going to have to be changed manually. Now you can see where I'm going with this. Here's the same kind of problem down here. When I highlight all of these, and hit tools, 358, and I want it to go to 5. You can see right here that it's only getting this in the middle. So this line and this line are not going to work. They're just, you can see how after I click it there, how they're not in line. So this is what happens. I actually went ahead and cut a piece of each. This is the bottom. And if you look close at the corners, you can see that they're not in line with the rest of the stuff. So when you stick this in here, and of course, this is the same way. You look here, this is not in line with these other slots. So If I hold my mouth right. Okay, so there it goes on, but obviously because it can't, you can see the gap right there because, like I said, it didn't pull this back. So it doesn't quite work. So you not only not get it flush and you got the gap in the center here, it's not flush on the outside either because it can't go in. So, but you can still use your software of choice. I use VCard Pro. So it's simply you could probably do it somehow in Lightburn as well. It's just I'm not as familiar with Lightburn, so it's quicker for me to move it to. Uh, Actually, I would just highlight all these, export them as a DXF, bring them into VCard Pro, change real quick what I needed to on those corners, save it back as a SVG, bring it back in, and boom, it. Then I cut these, and they work. This is the thin one, and this is the uh, thicker one, which is the 5 millimeter. So I still got good boxes, but it was a little more work than what I first thought. I thought that thing was going to be really cool and just be a magic wand to wave over this stuff, and it would work good. It still does save quite a bit of time, but I'm a little disappointed that it somehow doesn't pick up those other lines that are that same measurement and bring those back too. Somehow it doesn't know that it's not that it's not going to line up right. So, all right, now I want to, is there any question? Ryan says that's a neat fixture, but yeah, bugs. Okay. Like I said, I don't know if it's a bug or not. I don't know if it was. You're right, Alan. That is correct. But let me show you something right here. I found that I don't know why, I don't know where Louisiana Hobby Guy got his files where he needed to convert to pass first, because when I bring these in, let me start completely over again, and I'll bring one of these in. Now, this is from box.py is where I got this. So we'll bring in that SVG that it created. And if you come over here to edit, you can see that convert to path is grayed out. So I don't need, again, I don't know how he's getting his file, but mine are already converted to pass. So that's why when I highlight this and go to this is not grayed out. It's ready to go. So you're right. He did do that. And, when I went to do that, I'm like, well, that's weird. It's grayed out on mine. So then I went to the resize slots and selection and thought, well, it works. So it's not, it's already converted to pass because that's grayed out. I don't know, again, I don't know where he got his files because he didn't show that part. He just kind of, here they are. And, I created mine from that boxes.py. Okay, now I want to, let's see, how am I doing on time? Okay, about 34 minutes. I want to show you something else because I have been, I showed you the pictures of those bird feeders. And I've gotten several other things from that website. And when I say that website, I'm talking about this one, Ameed.com. I guess that's how you say it. I don't know. But they have a lot of cool stuff over there. I've still got a lot of stuff yet to run that I haven't done. But anyway, let me bring in something. Let me get Lightburn back over here and see if I can. Let's go to my bird feeders. All right, I'm just going to pick this one. And this is the one I did as a test here. I think no, let's just start with this. This is the DXF file that I got off of that website. Okay. Now, here's where another gotcha that you're going to have to watch out for if you're going to use that resize slots and selection thing. And I can probably pick any one of these because I found that it seems like every one of these files I get from that website, they're like that. Okay, if I check this, it says 4.04. Say what? What's going on there? 4.24, 4.04. Okay, this is 1334, 1376. What the heck? How come they're not the same? All right, well let's zoom in a little closer here and take a closer look. Well, first off, another thing that looks odd is this is just a rectangle, but it says it's got 8 nodes. So, and 8 lines. So something smells fishy right there, right? So let's do this. Let's highlight this and then let's go check the nodes and look. Here is trouble. Now, if you zoom in on these and you hover over this and hit D, that will get rid of that one. That gets rid of that one. And if you zoom in down here, see some of these, you say you couldn't, and see, look at that. You can't even see that until you get all the way zoomed in. Okay, now there's that one. Okay, so there was 8 and I just deleted 4 of them. So now you see it's the way it should be. There's 4 nodes. The green one, I believe that means that that's where it's going to start at. So now if I click off of that and I click this, now you see it's 4.24 there, 4.24 there. So those match like they should. 1376 there, 1376 there. So now it matches like it's supposed to. And it also says 4 nodes, which is what it should be. Okay, that was just one of many slots in this. This is like a little birdhouse, I think. All right, let's try this long one over here and see what we get here. And if I turn on the nodes again, yeah. All right, I think you can probably see how when you get these files like this, and these, I'm not saying these are bad files. I'm just saying you're going to have to be careful because they may not work like you think they're going to work. So I get rid of that. See, even that, see, you can't even see that until you zoom way in here. Okay. And I'll put this right here. Now let's see if it's even. 5574, 5574, 419, and 419. So my point is that now if you try, let's see if I can take one of these that's screwed up. I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to come over here to tools. Well, let's see. I know what I forgot. Let me check. See, here's the thing. You got to know what it is. So that's 419. Okay, this one. Okay, see how these sides are different? 2257. Yeah, it's showing eight nodes, it looks like. But it looks like these ends are correct. 419, 419. Well, they probably still got a screwy node in there. But let's just see what happens when I try to use that tool. Okay, so we want to go from 419, 5. Here's the problem. And this is what I discovered because I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? No matter what I do, it's not working. Why is this not working? And it's because you have some screwy nodes in here, which makes all these line lengths not the same. So if I come in here, whoops, I miss it. Oh, hit the wrong key. Okay, let's see. I think I'm close enough there. Let's see if I got them all. Oop, about missed this one. Okay, I think that might be all of them. Let's see. Let's see here. 4 nodes, 419, 419, 2370, 2370. Okay, so now that one is fixed. So if I highlight that one and go tools, okay, 419 and 5. See, now when I go to the right thing, it will work. And it will change that one. But you see what I'm talking about is that tool. When you first find out how that tool works, you're like, oh man, this is going to make fixing some of these files, because when I get some of these files from these other websites and they're designed in 3mm and I want to run them out of 5mm or whatever, this is going to make it super easy. Not so fast. And I have found that every single file that I have gotten from that website has that. None of these things are 4 lines as a rectangle. They're 6 or 8 lines with a little bitty line in there somewhere. And I don't know why, but you can see that's going to be a real problem working with that tool. Now, that doesn't mean that every file you get is going to be that way, but it does mean you're probably going to have to still do a little bit of work and check some stuff before you use that tool. And again, maybe later on they'll get that tool fixed where I still don't know how it would work, because it looks like one of these have this thing at kind of an angle or something. Yeah, right here. See, that's kind of cattywampus. So I don't know. I know it drives me nuts when I see folks draw stuff like this. It's like, what were they using? What kind of software were they using to make stuff, you know? But it's like everything I've got from there is like that. No matter where I go find a slot, if you look, they're all like that. So I don't know what's up with that, but I wanted to show you all that because that is a really neat tool in Lightburn, but there's some gotchas if you're not careful. So, but if you're drawing your own stuff and you draw it correctly. In other words, you draw a rectangle and it's 4 lines with 4 nodes like it should be, or at most 5 nodes. I noticed, let's see, where was it? There was one that had 5 nodes, but the 5th node was the green starting point because they had it starting right in the center of one of the long lines instead of in the corner. And that's still good. But it should never be more than 4 lines when you're doing a rectangle slot like that. And like I said, some of these are 6, 8 lines like that. So I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of go over that. Says file converted multiple times and not the best. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not complaining because that website, Ameed.com, still has some really cool stuff. And, I really like getting stuff because it saves, saves me from having to design stuff completely from scratch. So even if I have to spend a little time straightening out their rectangle slots to get them to where I can then easily change this using that tool. And if you go back and look, like this little birdhouse right here, um, you notice that it would be really simple if all of these were drawn correctly to start with. You could just highlight them all and click and boom, and it would change them to the right thickness, and it wouldn't be any problem. But so if you use that, watch out for, if you're getting a file from somewhere else, or watch out if you using boxes.py and create a box, because it won't fix those corners like it should. So, all right. Says, did I ungroup first, then try to convert to path? Well, let's try that, Alan. Let me go back here, and I'm going to go, we'll bring in that one again, because I don't think it's going to work because, well, let's see. It might. Let's see. Okay. Let me go back to, all right, here's the one. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll ungroup. Let's see, we got them all. Yep, they're all ungrouped. Okay, so now if I highlight that, now the convert to path is just not needed, apparently. Or, if it was needed, it wouldn't be grayed out. And like I said, I can just go straight to it and hit that, and it's oh, well, I got to get the right thing in there, I think. And I don't know what it is. Was it 358? I think. Yeah. Okay, so if I hit this. Okay, and then 5. Yeah, oops, it was already there, wasn't it? Yeah, so it's ready to do it. It's just again, I don't know what the Louisiana hobby guy did, how he got his files, whether it was something he drew. It might be something that he drew himself, and that's why he had to convert to pass. But apparently, the way I'm doing it, getting it from that website and using the boxes.py, they're already converted to pass. Because like I said, if you look, as soon as I bring them in here, they are already, when I set a color on them like this, they're already got a layer over here ready to go. They've already got well, let me move this over here. They've already got the path ready to go. So I don't know what the difference is, but like I said, the way the hobby guy did it, because I know exactly what you're talking about, because I kept thinking, okay, there's, that step you got to do first, convert to the pass. And then when I went to do it, I'm thinking, well, something's weird, because I don't even need to do that. So, righty. I guess that's, that really went quicker than what I thought. Let's see if there's anything else I was going to show you. But, no, I guess not. That's pretty much, but I will show you again. Let's see. Yeah, this is one of the bird feeders I got from that Amid.com Um, and again, I just put the files in the VCar Pro, changed the slots and stuff because this is before I knew about that tool in Lightburn. And then here's another one I did. And all of this was set for 3 millimeter. And I was going to use this, like I said, they call it a quarter, but it measures about 5 millimeters or 0.196. So that's oops, that's what I did. And of course this morning, then I see that video. So for some of these things, especially this round one right here, because it didn't have any kind of box joints, it would have worked perfect for that, uh, and saved me a ton of time because it did take me a minute to have to do that the old school way. So, oh, well, was I even showing it? No, I wasn't even showing it. Was I? Okay, yeah, this one. Um, that one would have saved me a ton of time. But anyway, has anybody got any questions or comments or anything else they want to talk about before I get off of here? Um, Jerry snuck in here. How you doing, Jerry? Looks like it's at the end. Yeah. You can always watch them over though. Just go to the thing, hit the membership tab, and they're always there. Where you can watch them whenever you want. Yeah. Now, Sean, that these things here, I haven't. In fact, I haven't even glued any of them. That's all just stuck together. That one was a pretty good fit. And it's all raw. There's nothing, no stain or paint or nothing. The pictures, um, let's see. I don't know if I've got. Yeah, let me see if I can find the. Let me see if I can find those pictures. Because what I do is, um, let's see. I don't remember the. Let's see. This is one of them, I think. What I do is I take a screen capture of. Yeah, here it is, right here. I take a screen capture so that I can reference what it looks like. Because when I cut it, it's just parts. So I use this to kind of as my guide to put it together. So there's that one. Let's see if I can get another one. That one looked like it was painted. Where am I at? Here we go. Okay, yeah, this one's painted as well too. It looks real good. I really like this one. And then let me see if I can find that last one. I don't remember. Nope, that's not it. I got several of them, and I'm trying to remember the number. Maybe it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. Well, nuts. I know I got it here somewhere. I just don't remember the number of it. That's the craziest thing. I know I got it here somewhere. Maybe it's that one. Nope. All right, I'll just go across the line here. That way I'll find it for sure. Nope, that's not it. No, that's that first one. Yeah, that's that other one. I got it. I'm running out of things, so I ought to be finding it pretty soon. That's not it. There we go. Finally, it's this one right here. And again, they show this one painted up, looks like so. And this one, if you zoom in, it looks like it was made out of some raggedy old plywood or something. It doesn't really look very good, so I can see why they painted it. Um, but yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I hadn't even got them glued up yet. I'll probably might just stain them. I don't know. But anyway, that's pretty much all I was going to show. I think y'all have to let me know what you think about these live streams in the office showing Lightburn stuff. I mean, I'd really rather be out there. In fact, I've still got my shop fired up out there. I could walk out there and do something, but I really like if I'm going to do something like this, being able to do it from the office computer, just because it's a much faster computer and it can handle all this other stuff I got going on, and trying to show you the Lightburn stuff. That poor old laptop. It's I think I'm going to have to just put it out of its misery. It is really lagging, and even that desktop out there is not the fastest thing. It's the one I had in here, and then when I bought that new one 2 years ago, I think, or so, probably longer than that now. I moved the old one out there to the shop, so it's got a lot of miles on it too. So I'm due to get a new. I figure if I spend a little money and I get a good enough computer, I can just put it out there, get my live stream key changed over so that I'm using it to run the laser, and it'll be have enough horsepower to run the live stream as well. So that's probably what I'll do in the future. Man, y'all are either quiet or left or something. That's one thing I don't like about this doing the members only live stream. StreamYard shows me that there's 0 people watching. It doesn't count them like it does during the other stream. So I can't ever tell if people are still here or not. I might just be talking to myself. So let's see. Alan says, how difficult is it to mirror Lightburn on 2 different computers? I have one in the shop and one in my office. That's exactly how I run it, Alan. I have, you can have, for the Lightburn license, you can have it on 2 computers. I'm pretty sure it's just 2. And I have it on this, and then I also installed it on that laptop. Now the thing is, just like today when I saw that video of Louisiana Hobby Guy, and then I came in here and I opened up my Lightburn. Excuse me. First thing it did was it popped up and it says, "Hey, version 1.3.01 is available. Do you want to get it?" And I was on, like I said, just a day or 2 ago, I had got 1.300 or something like that, And so I said, yes, I want to get it. And it goes through its thing and it updates this one, it basically downloads it, then reinstalls it. I don't know how it works. All I know is my little icon that I have down at the pinned to my taskbar. It still, when I click on it, it still opens up the newest version. So somehow they got all that figured out. But and then when I went out to so I'm messing around with these programs. I put them on my little thumb drive, and when I go to carry it out to the laptop and fire up the laptop, of course I have it connected to the internet too, uh, hardwired. I have a little switcher thing out there, and that's because of the live streams. But because it's connected to the internet, as soon as I fired that one up, it did the same thing. It says, "Hey, you want to update this?" I said yes, and of course, so it's not that hard to keep them on the same version. It would probably be a little trickier if you were trying to run, say, the shop one and not be connected to the internet. It's really easier if you're connected to the internet. Um, but yeah, that's how I run mine. Okay, Jr. says he's here. He's building drawers, listening. All right, well, good deal, good deal. Dave said he's still here. Okay, I'm sure y'all are still there. I was just like I said, I can't tell because it's a members only thing. StreamYard doesn't, it's probably YouTube doesn't let StreamYard find them. So Alan says, "Yep, two seats available, but I'm not sure how to harmonize both to the same." Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not. I haven't. I guess it would be different if you were doing production or light production or filling orders of some kind where you would always want to have the databases and the libraries and all that stuff where they jive. And I really haven't got into that because I don't do that kind of stuff. But I'm sure there's a way, I'm sure there's got to be a way to do it. Um, I don't know if it would be, well, I know one way you could do it would be go, like, say you do everything, all your programming and stuff at your office like I do, but then you want to take it out on a thumb drive. If you wanted to make sure you always had the same libraries for materials and stuff like that, you could just load that file onto your thumb drive and take it over there and then install it. But you'd have to do that all the time. I think there's probably an easier way. Uh, I haven't dug that far into Lightburn I haven't even scratched the surface really. Uh, I'm having a ball playing with that laser, doing what I know how to do, but a lot of the stuff I'm sure I haven't even scratched the surface as far as doing this, really seeing what the power of Lightburn is. Okay, Alan says I am moving all my Lightburn files and projects to the cloud. Yeah, that would do it. I'm just not a big I'm sorry, I'm just not a big cloud fan. You ever seen those shirts that says that, there is no cloud, it's just somebody else's computer. That's what I don't like about it. I figure somebody else's computer could crash and lose my data just as easy as mine probably. Or I don't know, they probably take a little better care of it, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the cloud. Um, Sean says use a shared drive on one PC and share if you're on a net. Yeah, you could make your own little, what they call it, a LAN or something, local area network, something like that. But all right, well, I guess I hope y'all enjoyed what I showed you tonight, and if there's any, like I said, I don't know much about Lightburn, but when I saw that and got to playing around with it, I'm like, well, the video by the Louisiana hobby guy was a good video, but it was, he got it in about 10 minutes and he only kind of showed you one thing. He didn't really go into depth and stuff. And of course, when he did it, everything worked fine. And I'm like, okay, well, now I'm doing it and I'm seeing these little glitches so it doesn't work great for everything. So I thought that I would point that out and you can go check out his video. It was just released this morning, I think. And you'll see that the way he shows that everything works. So he didn't do anything from different places or different files where you had some little glitch in it. So anyway, I guess I'm going to get out of here. I'll get ready to play the signing off music, and as always, I'll have Facebook open here somewhere on one of these three monitors. And if anybody wants to come hang out and BS a while or something like that, just send me a Facebook message and I'll send you the link and we'll shoot the breeze for a little bit. Other than that, I guess we'll get out of here. So everybody have a good one. Oh, one other thing I was going to do. Well, you probably saw it because I kept flashing that one picture of the, let's see, where is it? Now this right here. For those of you who might be into diode lasers, this is a brand new, SaneSmart is the company that sent it to me. It's a Jinmitsu LC-50 plus. Actually, they called it, there's another name they use too, Jinsoko, Jinsoku. But anyway, I guess it's a Jinmitsu LC-50 plus. It's a 10-watt laser, but this bad boy has some kind of air assist already comes with it. So I'm kind of anxious to play around with that. So I will be doing a live unboxing, assembly, and probably first cuts this Saturday on the Hobby CNC with Dave show. And I think what I'm going to do, I got to thinking about this, these things are not that big. I think when I get it assembled and get ready to get the old stinky smoke going, I can just set this thing down inside my Omtech and, move the gantry all the way to the back, set it down inside my Omtech and turn on that inline fan. And I should be golden. I should be able to burn whatever I want and exhaust the fumes out that window. So anyway, look for that this Saturday. And like I said, if you want to do the after thing hangout, let me know, and we'll see y'all next time.